Chapter 81 World Championships, Montreal 2013. Montreal, Canada, the venue for the IPC World Championships 2013. I went to Canada with a smile on my face and dreams buzzing in my mind. Stephanie Millward, world champion, just imagine, that would be amazing. I had never been to Canada before, so that was another tick on my places visited list, which was exciting. The pool was only a short distance from the hotel, and we travelled there by minibuses that the British swimming staff members drove. The racing pool was very good. Basically, the site had 2 outdoor pools, but after the thunder and lightning storms we had in Rio, we now have to race in indoor or covered pools. On this occasion, they covered one of the pools in a large tent, which worked perfectly. The other pool they left open for our warm-up or our swim-down sessions. We arrived in Canada and trained for a couple of days before the event started. It was so exciting seeing other competitors from different countries. I was feeling confident because I had done some good training with my coach, Martin Mosey, and I felt very strong. My first race was 100 metres freestyle, which has never been one of my best events, but I knew I was good at it. I hadn't been allowed to swim this in London because I had apparently too many races already. The heats were very exciting as it was my first race in the competition, and I went to the call-up room with my headphones and my wheelchair for after the race. I went through the race in my head, then knew I was ready for it. I swam the heats and went into the final in second place, and I was very excited about the final later that day. The final for the 100 metres freestyle came, and I won the gold medal by half a second. Amazing. I just kept on going and nobody came with me. The time wasn't good, but that didn't really matter as I had won the gold medal. I was world champion. Being world champion kept me thinking about R. Kelly's song, The World's Greatest. I love this song as I have always wanted to be the world's greatest, but never really believed that I could be. This is now proofs that you can achieve anything if you just put your mind to it and you believe it enough. I can now sing that song knowing that I am the world's greatest. What an amazing feeling. The weather for the whole event was warm and lovely and generally very hot. And then we started experiencing huge thunder and lightning storms, which meant that we weren't allowed to swim in the outside pool. This ultimately meant that it stopped me from being able to complete my swim downs, which for me are necessary for my walking purposes. After the 100 metres freestyle, I felt more confident, and as part of the relay teams, we won the 4x100 freestyle final and the 4x100 medley final, with me swimming the backstroke leg. I also won the heats of my favourite event, the 100 backstroke, and the final. The only one of my races I didn't win was the 200 metres individual medley, where the swimmer does 1 length 50 metres of butterfly, followed by 1 length backstroke, then breaststroke, and then freestyle. My breaststroke is my weakest length, but after the Paralympics in London, where I had come second, I knew I was quite good for this race. My 200 IM was good enough for me to place second into the final, but then the girl who had come first was disqualified. Perfect! I was going into the final in first place. But then, for whatever strange reason, the person in charge of the GB team fought a volunteer helper who witnessed a girl who had been disqualified, and they concluded that they must have made a mistake. For anybody, a disqualification is a disqualification, irrelevant of your age, sex, or stature, and I believe this girl should never have been allowed back to swim in the final. I was always taught you have to learn from your mistakes. On a couple of occasions after racing, we were told to go and do interviews for Channel 4, which ended up with me anxious to stand for one of my interviews with the MS dragging me down. In a number of interviews, I had somebody grasping my waist, holding me vertical, people on both sides trying to stop the shaking from my spasms, and somebody else holding my legs stable. Always have that smile on my face. MS is fighting to be in charge, but this is my dream. It has taken it once, so never again. I am the winner. I am in control, even with my 4 helpers. I am in charge. Me 1, MS 0. I won 4 golds and 1 silver medal at these World Championships. I am the world champion, even with the MS. World champion is the next step, a Paralympic gold medal.